While the abortion decision continues to be debated and discussed, the Supreme Court actually wrapped up its unprecedented term yesterday with two more big decisions: a major ruling severely limiting the EPA's ability to fight climate change, and a win for President Biden on immigration. And it all coincided with a historic day for the highest court, as Justice KETANJI Brown-Jackson was sworn in as the newest justice, making her the first black woman to serve on the nation's highest court. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran has had absolutely no sleep because he has been covering every decision, working morning, noon, and night. But as you were saying, I mean, we'll get to Justice Jackson in a minute, because that was very emotional, I think, for all of us. It was exciting. We'll talk about that for sure. But why don't we start with, I mean, the first thing you and I talked about yesterday, the EPA's, the decision regarding the EPA and the ramifications that is going to have. A lot of doctors, climate specialists weighing in all afternoon on that.
Just a huge decision on the environment and really on the government's power to regulate in a lot of areas, because what the Supreme Court said is the EPA wanted to do this nationwide sweeping regulation of greenhouse gas emissions from power plants. It would have changed the U.S. energy mix, lowered the carbon footprint of the country, and what the court said, the super majority of conservatives, that in order to do something of that magnitude and that consequence, you have to get congressional approval. A regulatory agency isn't good enough. Something like that needs to be passed by the people's representatives. Justice Elena Kagan, in dissent, said, well, there is a law, the Clean Air Act, plenty of flexibility in that. It's the court seizing power over this subject, is what she said. But it's huge because the way the court ruled could impact other areas of regulation, too.
And on a personal note, Terry and I talking about electric cars. He ended up buying an electric car, and now my husband wants us to do the same thing.
Look at those gas prices.
Trust me, I know. Everything from our air to what we're paying at the pump, right? All right, let's talk about Remain in Mexico. This was a big win for President Biden, this Trump-era policy. It
was barely a win. 5-4. A president should be able to end the policies put in place, not by Congress, by the predecessor, right? And this court barely gave Biden the power to end the Remain in Mexico policy, which left thousands of asylum seekers languishing in sometimes dire conditions in Mexico while their cases were pending. It was 5-4. Chief Justice Roberts writing for the majority. Justice Brett Kavanaugh also joining the liberals, saying, look, we do have a change in power. Biden did it right, and he can overturn this policy.
All right, now let's bring it home with the historic moment. Her fans are calling her JJ. You know, you had the notorious RBG, right? Now you have JJ. So I bet it was exciting. It was a first, and I think America, they're pulled in by her heart, by how she speaks and how she stands up and how she has handled this whole process.
I think that's a great point. It was so moving and so happy. It surprised me that I shouldn't have, but to watch, black women built this country, helped to build this country. We all learned their names as kids, right? Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and Marian Anderson, Barbara Jordan, and now KETANJI Brown-Jackson steps in that line. The first black woman on the Supreme Court, 233 years, long overdue. They say every new justice makes a new court because of the personal dynamics. And she brings so much to that court, not just the legacy of all that history, but she's a brilliant jurist. She was a public defender. The court doesn't have a lot of people who represented the poorest and in many ways the most despised Americans, stood up in American courts defending those people. She was also on the U.S. Sentencing Commission, so she brings a lot. She won't change the ideological makeup, 6'3" conservatives, but she's going to have an impact on that court.
And an incredible mom. We saw how her daughters spoke about her and were there having her back.
And how she said, I know I didn't always get the balance right, but I love you, and I hope you see that the hard work paid off.
It paid off all right. Terry, thanks.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.